Okay, Shalom. This is the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the commanding Johnny Hannah. The ISUPK teach the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, man. We have classes all through the week. In the school, we have a school in Birmingham. Uh, in the school, we have classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 till 9. And the school is in 394 Lodge Road. The postcode B185PW. Make sure you can make it down to class if you can, especially the Thursday class, which is a scripture breakdown class. You can bring all your scriptures you need broken down. Any questions you have, bring that to that class. On a Monday in the school, we have the history class taught by Captain of 10,000 Parashia. Online on the Tuesday, we have the Brotherhood Class, which is today, usually taught by Officer 500 Tazapawan. I'm covering for today. On a Wednesday, we have the law class done by Officer Damgaba or Officer Quatazar. On a Thursday, we have the scripture breakdown class held down by Officer 5000 Karathia. And on the Friday, we have the Lashwan Kodash. You can learn the Hebrew, taught by Officer 5000 Shamgar. If you want to attend that class, start learning the Hebrew, you can get in touch with the school. You can get the link for that class, man. And we also have a vidcast, a radio show on the Fridays on the ends, which usually streams from around 9 to 11 p.m. Without further ado, we're going to get into today's class, which is on the Black community. We have so much wrong with our community. We have the crime, we have drugs, we have abortions, we have so many issues in our community. And yet we can't rely on the police of this kingdom to solve our issues. We can't trust in their policing to fix what's going on in our community. We need to police our own communities. We need to have our own leaders that judge the issues going on in our community. We need to take it upon ourselves to correct the issue. Because this oppressor, he's the one who caused the issue. He won't fix anything he won't fix Black people because he benefits when Black people are on drugs. He benefits when Black people are killing each other. He benefits when our women are aborting our babies, man. So he won't do anything to fix anything in our community, man. And I read an article recently about them tightening up on policing and investigating to see whether they disproportionately police Black people, which we've known since the police was invented. We've known that they target Black people since it came about, man. The police force itself came about during it was around slavery times. Those were the taskmasters that were set above us to make sure we were doing that work, cracking that whip, make sure we were getting that cotton picked, man, or that cane cut. The whole establishment of the police force is built on the oppression of Black people, man.
Right, that's right.
We're also going to disproportionately, police us and strip search us, our young women. Let me share the article, in fact. And it talks about how Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, he plans to, he's put a plan in place to make sure that Blacks aren't, targeted. And listen, man, it's all for show. If you can, are you able to read that? You need Mr. Zoom in.
Not big enough
about
it. Yeah.
Right, so as you can see from this photo, this was a process that was done when I'm not sure if you remember the story, but in Hackney, I think it was a few months ago, it was some police officers that strip searched a 15-year-old young sister. It was either one or two of them. Strip searched this young sister while she was menstruating, while she was on her cycle. They embarrassed this sister. They caused all sorts of trauma to do such a wicked and vile thing. And that's what they do to our children, man. That's how they treat our children. That's how they police our children. That's what you get when we put them in charge of trying to solve, trying to fix our community. When we allow them to do these things to our children, man. And they say, oh, they were, they had reason to strip search her because they were looking for drugs. Listen, man, we need to fix the drug problem in our community so that none of our children are on drugs. None of our children have drugs, sell drugs, or looking for drugs, so they can't strip search our children, man. So they can't
Right.
violate our young daughters, man. So they can't abuse our young sons, man. That's how we police our community. That's how we stop black. That's how we stop oppression by the police. That we become so righteous that they can't use any sort of excuse to excuse their behavior, to excuse having their knee on my neck. You can't use no excuse about George Floyd was on fentanyl or whatever drugs, and that's how he died. Really, they can't use no excuse for the wickedness that they do to our people, man. If you can read from the beginning.
Salakia, just make it a bit more bolder, Baba Kishar.
No, sir. Let me get
Still a bit small. Yeah, I can get that. God. And Met police officers patrolling schools in London are faced tougher scrutiny following the strip search of Acne schoolgirl child Q. It follows revelations that the majority of strip searches recently referred for investigation by the Metropolitan Police involve black children.
So they're strip searching our children, man. And now when it's it's been publicated and getting some backlash, now they're doing an investigation. When they already had the data, they already had the information, and they were disproportionately strip searching our children, which I don't even know why you need to strip search a child.
Right.
I don't know what sick, twisted mind you have to be to strip search a child, a minor. That is just beyond viral, man. Beyond disgusting. But now, because of the backlash they're getting, because people are seeing their wickedness, now it's under investigation. The majority of strip searches is involves our children, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Children can't. The children Q and Olivia's scandals saw two teenage girls strip search while they were menstruating with the menstruating with the Metropolitan Police going on to refer a further 9 cases of child strip search
So
for
not only were there
investigation.
those two, strip searches that were reported, there was a further 9 cases of this strip searching. Listen, man, these officers are sick, man.
Right.
They ain't just no one-off. There was a further 9 cases that were reported, and there were many that went unreported, man. There were many of our young daughters that just held in that trauma, man, and they just couldn't even utter the words, man. Couldn't even bring themselves to tell their parents or tell anyone the wickedness that happened to them, man, by the hand of these officers. But a total of 11 cases were reported for investigation. Go ahead.
God. Out of the 11 cases facing formal probes, 7 of the children were black and just 2 were white.
So out of the 11 that were reported, 7 of those were black, man. 7 of those were our children, man. Our daughters. That is a vast, majority of those cases, man. And if you account for how black people are only a small population in Britain, man. We are only a small population. If you look around, I can barely find a black person these days, man.
Right.
And yet we're always the majority when it comes to these things. We're always the majority in the wickedness that the police do against our people, man. Always the majority. We're the majority in the strip search, man. We're the majority of getting pulled over by the police. We're the majority of getting, tased, and we're resisting arrest, violence from resisting arrest. We're the majority in getting gunned down by the police. We're the majority in police brutality, man.
Oh,
Why is it that although we're a minority against compared to white people, we're always the majority when it comes to these cases, man. And just now is it under investigation? Things that we've known for years, man. Things that we've known for generations and generations, that they always oppress our people, man. And
right. That's right.
nobody else gets the same treatment that we get. That shooter in Buffalo, is it Peyton Gendron? He gets escorted. He gets when he shut up that convenience store and killed many of our old people, killed many of our elders, the old of our people. They took him in alive, man.
Mm-hmm.
They took him to, it's either Burger King or McDonald's, man, and got him a meal. But let that be one of our people, he would have been dead in those streets, man. They would have not hesitated 1 second, man. As soon as they saw a black man with any sort of listen, man, our children get shot for having water guns in their hand, man. Yeah,
Right.
this white boy with a AK, with a assault rifle, gets taken in. What's the word? No harm done.
Oh,
Even a
mm,
scratch upon him, man. No scratch, no bruise. No, they even bruised his damn wrist, man. They put those cuffs on nice and gently. Took him in. They put no harm onto him when he killed many of our people and injured many with an assault rifle. And yet a young black boy with a water gun that's a little bit too dark. A black water gun gets shot, man.
mm,
Killed nobody, harmed nobody. Yeah, that young brother's dead, man. We're always we can't rely on this oppressor to police our people with any sort of justice, man, with any sort of
that's right.
fair treatment. No matter how much the police want to review and investigate the disproportionate, you know, searching of black people and policing of black people, no matter how much Sadiq Khan wants to, you know, create some new, what's the word, some new program to, you know, see what's going on and investigate. This has been going on for years, man. They haven't figured it out yet.
Mm,
It didn't take me too long to figure it out. They still haven't figured it out. Listen, man, they just hate black people, man.
that's right.
And nothing will change that. No amount of investigating, no amount
Mm,
of programs and working with this program and that program. And listen, man, they just will never please our people fairly. It will
mm,
never happen, man. They have a deep, deep hatred towards our people.
that's right.
And they cause the issues in our community so that they can police us and put their knee on our necks, man. They
Right.
put drugs and guns in our neighborhoods so that they can kill us when they see us, doing what they want us to do. They say, yeah, man, yeah, I can get him, arrest him, make him a slave or kill him. Just get rid of another nigger in the street, man. As Tupac said, man,
Mm,
pull the trigger, kill a nigger, you're a hero.
mm-hmm.
It's
Right.
by design. It's by design why it's like this, man.
That's right.
From slavery all the way to now, they've primed our people to become perpetually self-hating, killing each other and giving drugs to each other. They designed us to hate each other and destroy each other, and then they step in and hate us and destroy us further, man.
Mm,
Ain't no investigating needs to be done, man. I know exactly why there's disproportionate, policing of black people and brutality and strip searching our young daughters, man. And let me get a scripture on that one. I know exactly why. If you could get me Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, I know exactly why there's disproportionate
mm.
brutality against black people. Why they're strip searching our young daughters, man. Good.
Ready?
Car.
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in want of all things.
The Bible says, therefore, we will serve our enemies, man. These people that we've served for over 400 years, they're not your friends. They're not, God loves everybody and we're all equal. They are your enemies, black man, black,
That's
Hispanic,
right.
and Native Indian.
Mm-hmm.
These people that rule over you and oppress you and police you, they are your enemies, man. And the Most High put you in their hands because you didn't serve him.
Right.
And you serve this oppressor in hunger, in nakedness, in thirst, in want of all things, man. You serve the harsh bondage in slavery. And to this very day, you serve him, man. You beg him for a little piece of job. He gives you a little change, and you have to pay him back, man. You have to pay him taxes. You have to pay this oppressor so you can work.
Mm-hmm.
In hunger, in nakedness, in thirst, in want of all things, you have to pay this oppressor so you can drink water and live, man. You have to pay the oppressor so you can get some food, get some groceries, and live, man. You have to pay this oppressor for the clothes on your back so you can cover yourself, man. In all things, you have to serve this oppressor. You have to serve this to drive a car, man. You have to pay road tax and clean air zones and whatever else they want to charge you for, man. Insurance and you gotta pay this oppressor for everything, man. Ain't nothing free in this kingdom, man. Especially for you, black man.
That's right, man.
And you can't, they will fight you over job seekers allowance and a little bit of benefit.
Mm-hmm.
They will charge you for damn near everything. You can't get no rest. You can't get no excuse. You don't pay that income tax. The IRS is coming for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're knocking on your door. You owe that money. That belongs to queen and country or king and country, man. That belongs to your slave master. You better pay up, man.
Right.
You better pay up, or we'll start cracking that whip again, man. We loosen the leash, but don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to pay that money. You're still a slave in this empire, man. How people think they're free. Listen, you think you're free, you stop paying income tax, man. So you'll see how free you are, man.
That's right. Uh-huh.
They don't use whips no more. They use them batons, and they will beat you half to death, drag you into the police, and you'll get fined, man. You gotta pay that money one way or another.
Right.
But you are not free in this kingdom, man. They put you in those shackles and chains. You served them in hunger and thirst and nakedness until he destroyed you, until he destroyed your mind.
Right.
Until you don't need to put them shackles in your neck. Because you ain't going nowhere, man. Because now you're willingly fighting their wars, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll damn near skip to the abortion clinics to kill your babies. He don't need to feed your children to the crocodiles no more and the alligators no more. Now you're killing your children by choice, man. He don't need to kill our young men and kill our brothers. Now you're shooting each other over postcodes and drug territory, man.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Ain't no investigation needs to be done, man. I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
This man Sadiq Khan could just watch this class, man. He'll figure out why there's a disproportionate policing of black people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
God, and Salakia, if I may, man, there was a time when we were free, man. There was a time when the oppressors weren't ruling over us. There was a time when we had our own land in Jerusalem. You understand? There's a time when we was ruling in our own land, and we was at peace, man. We was keeping these laws, and we had our own people governing us like we're supposed to, man. You know what I mean? But our disobedience has now landed us where? In the hands of our oppressors now, man.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So yeah, it's lucky if I may as well. Again, in order to come out the hands of these oppressors, we got to do what the Lord says, man. This Bible ain't no fairy tale, man. We have to do what the Most High says in order for us to get out of this position that we're in.
Correct.
You know?
Go ahead.
That was it, man. Nakedness and in want of all things. And he and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And that man, that oppressor, our enemy, they put a yoke of iron on our neck until they destroyed us, man.
Right.
Until they don't need to act, they don't even need to actively do anything to kill to kill our people. We're doing it to ourselves now, man.
Mm.
We're killing our own children. We're killing our own brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing all manner of wickedness against our own people, man. They don't need to molest our children no more. Some of our people are there molesting their own damn children, man, their own family members.
Right.
All sorts of wicked and vile things that we learn from this oppressor. Now we do towards ourselves, man. Now we do towards our own children, towards our own people, man. Go ahead.
So lucky, where was I? 48, verse 49. And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the ends of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
And we don't understand this white man when he came on those ships. He came from afar, man. He came on those ships and put us on and bring us to this country, man. Bring us to the Caribbean, bring us to the Americas, bring us all over the world so they could oppress us, man. Bring us to Spain and France, bring us to all these places so they could oppress our people, man.
Right.
Swift as an eagle flies, man. And we know damn well who that is. We know the people that have the eagle as their symbol, man. We know the British have the eagle as their symbol, whether it being there. You know, you see it on their football clubs, there's always an eagle somewhere. There's always some eagle symbolism. Whether it be a griffin, half lion, half eagle. Because not only are they eagle, they're either way you split it, whether it's lion or eagle, they are predators, man. They prey on our people. The Americans, they're just blatant with it. It's just an eagle, man. The symbol of freedom. The freedom to oppress black people, man. The freedom to whip our backs and stand on our necks, man. The freedom to strip search our daughters with nothing bad happening to them, man. The freedom to kill our young men, man. Or kill our young boys over a water gun. And they hold themselves not guilty, man. That's what they're free to do. And no one stands against them. No other nation says, listen, man, it's wrong what you're doing to black people, man. It's wrong what you're doing to these young boys and young girls, man. You should let them be children, man. Don't strip search a young daughter, man. Don't strip search a young girl. Don't defile this young woman. No nation stands up for our freedom, and no nation stands up in defense of us.
Right. And Salaki.
Go ahead.
Salaki, man, that's child abuse. If you're gonna search a child that's on minstrel and all that stuff, that is child abuse, man.
I'm right.
That's child abuse, and they're not even calling it that, man. But if it was one of their children, that would be classed as child abuse, man.
If they did that to Madeleine McCann, the whole world would be in uproar.
That's
right. They did that to one of their children, the whole world would be in uproar, man. But they do it to ours, and a few protests here and there, and these other nations don't say nothing. They don't care. You might say something for the two that were apparently white, but yeah, just strip search. Go ahead. Oh, Slacky, was there anything else?
It's up to you. Was that it on that? I was
read to verse 51, but sure.
Khan, verse verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the persons of the old, nor show favor to the young.
And they're a nation of fierce countenance, man. They are a
Mm-hmm.
nation of fierce countenance. When they come against you, they ain't smiling, they ain't happy, they ain't clappy, they ain't putting on that fake smile. When they're coming against you, their countenance is fierce, man.
Right.
Their countenance is angry when they're beating you with that baton, man.
Mm.
They have a fierce, they have a vile look on their face while they're strip searching our daughters, man.
Right.
Their countenance is fierce, man. They ain't
Mm.
no smiley. It ain't no. Listen, they portray themselves as all smiley and happy and little baby angels and a little, you know, pacifist Christ, whatever their fake version of Christ is. That's how they portray themselves. But you see them in real life, boy. When they're in that zone, their whole face turns red, man. They reveal
Right.
themselves as the devil that they are, man.
Mm-hmm.
They reveal that fierce countenance when they're putting that knee on our neck, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And if I
They
may,
don't.
they've got
Go
mm.
ahead.
Yeah, they show no mercy to the young, nor show favor to the young old or the young man. So with
Right.
that little sister that they're searching, that's on a time of the month and all that, they got no pity, they ain't got no remorse towards her, they got no feelings, no thought of her being human and being a child. That they should bypass that situation, you know what I mean, and just deal with it, with some decency, man. All right,
Right.
got no remorse. Mm.
That's right, man.
Dealing with it like.
They don't show no favor to the young. They don't say, listen, this is a young girl. We're not gonna strip search her, even though we might suspect her of drugs. We'll just pat her down. We'll see, ask her if she has drugs, and if she doesn't, just send her on her way, man. No, they don't do that. They want to violate the system, man. They wanna exercise their authority and their power and absolutely violate this young system, man.
Mm.
That's what they do. They don't show you the young no favor. They don't show our young boys when they kill them over a water gun. They don't show them no favor, man. They don't think maybe, it's probably not a real gun. They see a young boy, they see that, it's got a little orange tip at the end. He's probably just playing. It's not a real gun. They see that their white boys in the suburbs playing with water guns the same way, but to them it's a water gun. When they have it in their hands, it's a water gun. When we have a little water pistol, water squirter in our hands, it's a damn bazooka, man.
Mm.
It's a RPG. We might as well have grenades and friggin' be Rambo in it in this bitch. When we have a water gun, those old guns blazing, man. They don't hesitate. They go for their taser and listen, man. It's the end of that young boy's life, man. They don't show no favor to the young or to the old. When that damn Edomite Peyton Grendron killed our old in that convenience store because they don't allow people in New York, in Buffalo, to carry guns so they can defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show no favor to the old of our people that died in that incident in that massacre, man.
Right.
They don't show no favor. They didn't bring Peyton Grendron to justice and kill him for the lives that he took. They didn't put that damn demon down. They gently put him in handcuffs and put him in the back of the car and got him a meal and then took him to prison and then whatever else happened. I ain't even seen no update on that story yet, man. I ain't see what verdict he got. He probably got that manslaughter, man. Probably pled insanity or some shit.
Right.
But
Same with
they
them. Mm.
go
Scott,
ahead.
yeah. But the same with Dylan Roof as well. Exactly the same. The same trait, man. He
They
killed
should
what
actually.
9 black people. Right.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story, man. They don't regard the old, the young. We all can get killed and get no justice and get no peace. The same thing we've been marching for since I've been alive. I've heard that, man.
Right.
The Zappa one's been alive. He's heard that, man. Since our grandparents have been alive, they've always heard no justice, no peace. Because we have
Right.
never got justice in this kingdom. Slacky, go ahead.
Right. Since all I was to say was since we came off the boats, man, with those chains on our necks and all that, we've not had no peace ever since we stepped shores in the Americas in oppression, man. You know, we've not had no peace ever since, man.
Damn right. Since we were put on that boat, since they were
Mm-hmm.
throwing our people overboard because they didn't have enough food or water, our people were saying, "Listen, man, that ain't justice. That ain't a just thing to do. If you're gonna bring us, if you're gonna bring us and enslave us, at least bring us and enslave us. Don't just throw us overboard.
Right.
No justice, no peace. When they allowed our people to drown in menstrual blood, man. We've been getting no justice for that, no peace for that. Since this oppressor came on them slave ships, since he set foot on those shores, we've been getting no justice. He's been killing us, and we've been getting no justice, no reparations, no sort of, not even an apology, man. When they asked David Cameron, are you gonna give reparations? He said, reparations? No. Reparations. Nah, we can keep that tax money coming in, but we ain't paying you a dime.
Right.
I'll go to prison though. I'll let more brothers in Jamaica go to prison, and then so this we can turn them basically into slaves. That's how they enslave us in this day and age, man. Put drugs in your community, they put guns in your community. Then when you get caught up in all that, they caught you off to prison, and now you're legally a slave. That's their
right. That's right.
Since they can't, obviously enslave you, now they got to do it in a subtle way. They got to make sure that you end up in prison so they can enslave you all over again, man.
Can't Tislakia. Yeah, prison is the new modern day slavery, because if they get you in jail, then what? What's it? Your freedom. You give up your freedom, man.
Your freedom gone, man.
They get you to go.
Man. Property to your property to the royal family when you're in prison. You're legally a slave.
Right, right. So now all your rights is taken away, and it's not hard for your rights to be taken away. It could be anything, man. You miss a payment on your house, or you miss, that tax what you're talking about earlier. You miss their poll tax, you miss their paying them taxes, etc. You go into jail, man.
That's right.
And you're gonna serve under their pleasure, under Her Majesty's pleasure, and that's your rights are taken away. Now you're in debt. Now you're an indentured slave all over again, man.
Cool. Is that where you're up to?
In the Bible, or in the Bible, right? Yeah. Old nor show favor to the young. 51, verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle.
I think that's it on that for now. It was the 50.
Okay.
All right, we'll go back to the article.
Just if you make it a bit more bold, I think it's either gone back.
Do this as
well. Right. Is that where it was? Just that's where. All right. No sweat. Now Zadik Khan and the Met Police have announced a new partnership panel involving head teachers, youth justice services, community representatives, and Met Police to monitor safer school officers amid mounting concerns over Black Londoners being over-policed.
So now because Black Londoners are being over-policed and they can't hide from it in the media anymore, we're brought to their attention so much that they can't just ignore it. So Sadiq Khan has come up with a new partnership involving head teachers, youth justice services, community reps, the police, to monitor how they're policing Black people. Now he's saying Sadiq Khan's going to do something, man. He's monitoring it. He's investigating it. Something's got to be done. Listen, man, this is just the oppressor just lulling you back to sleep, man. He
That's
says,
right.
"Hey, I know you're being over policed, but listen, I'm looking into it. I'm a look into it. I'm a monitor it. I'm a watch
Mm-hmm.
while they continue to strip search our young daughters, while they continue to kill our young boys, man. I'm a monitor it. I'm gonna watch
Mm-hmm.
while they do it. Don't worry, it's being monitored. It's under control. You know, we're watching it happen. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how you're getting pulled over by the police. We're watching it happen. That's what Sadiq Khan's saying, man. But he makes you feel like he's gonna do something to stop this happening. He ain't doing nothing, man.
That's right.
He ain't doing nothing to help black people being over policed. He'll probably amend some legislation so they can get away with it not being racist, so they can, have the right excuses they need to continue to oppress you. But he ain't doing nothing to help you. He didn't do nothing to protest Priti Patel deporting the Windrush generation. So why would he do anything for the Black Londoners being over policed? What concern does he have for you, man? He's only concerned about his own image. That's his only concern. So don't worry, all the black people in London, he's going to continue to watch you getting gunned down by the police. He's going to continue to watch you be the victim of police brutality. Don't worry because he's watching. Sadiq Khan's watching you. Don't worry. You can go ahead and go back to sleep. Stop your protesting. Put down your pitchforks. Sadiq Khan is watching you getting over policed. Be the victim of police brutality. He's watching your daughters get strip searched. It's fine. He's watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, we can't trust our oppressor. We can't trust our enemies. Don't get it
That's
twisted.
right.
It's not just the so-called white man. It's not just this
Mm.
oppressor. It's all these other nations, man.
That's right.
Sadiq Khan also benefits. His people also benefit from you being destroyed, man. From you being in this
Mm-hmm.
condition. So he ain't doing nothing to stop you being over policed. He ain't doing nothing to help the black community rise out of poverty or get off drugs or stop gang violence or stop abortions. He ain't doing none of that. He's just watching. He's just watching it happen. He's monitoring.
Right. If I may as well, man.
Go ahead.
And luckily we've got cameras these days, right? Everyone's videoing now. So you can, flick it on YouTube Live and all these other sites, Facebook, this and that, TikTok, Twitter, all of that stuff now. So this is why they've got to now look into it. You know what I mean? It's been going on for centuries, decades, but now they've got to look into it because there's so much now that been brought to their attention that they can't deny it anymore as much as they'd like to. So
That's
now they're
right.
gonna look into it, man.
And if you could continue to read on.
Over policed, right? That Black London is being over policed as part of the overhaul research on body worn video cameras used by officers will be published to look at where stop and search interactions escalate unnecessarily.
So now they're gonna start, they're gonna start doing research on the video cameras that police wear to look at where stop and search interactions escalate unnecessarily. So don't worry, black people. Sadiq Khan's gonna look at these videos. He's gonna watch them. He might have a bit of popcorn, but don't worry because he's watching it. He's monitoring. He might have popcorn and watch while our brothers and sisters, every stop and search interaction gets escalated and our people end up tased, handcuffed, or dead, man. But
Right.
don't worry because Sadiq Khan's watching it. It's being published to him so he can watch it. He's doing research. Listen, man. Until all those videos are published to the public so the public can see how these police officers are abusing the situation, abusing their power against our people. Sadiq Khan ain't doing nothing, man.
That's right.
Sadiq Khan ain't doing nothing. And even if they publish the videos, there's been countless of videos where we've seen the footage. We've seen that they're abusing their power. We've seen how they treat our people. We don't have no power to change that. So even if we see it, there's nothing that we can do to stop the police from abusing their power. The only thing we can do is change how our people act.
That's right.
Change the behavior of our people. If we changed our own community, we became so holy that if they continue to abuse us, these other nations they would see, listen, man, these people they're not selling drugs to each other. They're not killing each other. They're not killing their babies. So how what excuse now do you have? What excuse now do you have to abuse our people? And they won't say anything, you know, because they ain't that fight, but they will at least see the wickedness.
Right. They'll see they'll see the injustice, man.
They'll
The
see the injustice.
in plain sight. Yeah.
I'm right. And all these other nations, they don't like this oppressor either.
Right.
But when you're killing each other, they ain't really gonna. You're killing each other. What are they to even say when the police kill you? It's like, oh, well, if the police didn't get you, then you're gonna get each other. So, you know, what's the kerfuffle about? That's why our people, one second. That's why our people we need to change from the inside out, man.
That's right.
We can't. The police ain't gonna fix no issue in the community. They're only gonna abuse us. They're only gonna kill us over whatever excuse they can find. They're only gonna kill us. We need to be the people that we need to be so righteous that it reveals their complete and utter wickedness and hatred when they come against us, man.
That's right.
They try to stop and search our people. When we're no longer the you know the typical the what's the word?
Scapegoat.
We're no longer the suspects. We're no longer the typical. We don't. When we no longer fit the description, they can't get away with the wickedness that they do, man. They can't get away with disproportionately stopping and searching our people. But go ahead, you're gonna say something.
I was gonna say, like they you know, it's a program that they've done to, like, they caused us to be the way we are today. They've programmed us to be the way we are today. It's like, you know, last hired, first fired. You don't want to be around the oppressors. You don't want to go to them for jobs. They've made us now have to go to them and this, and not all our people want to. We don't want to go to the oppressors for no job, man. All right, we don't want to go to them for nothing. But obviously, the situation that we're in now, we have to. We're forced to go, and obviously we've sinned against the Lord. But at the same time, they are perpetuating our downfall, and they love the position that we're in. That they're keeping, you know, they are monitoring us and paying and are keeping us down, man. Right? Pushing drugs on us and guns on us and crime on us. They call us what's that? Thugs, right? They put labels on us so that when all other nations see us now acting those ways, but like if you know, someone go to jail, right? They get institutionalized, right? We are in captivity for over 400 years, being programmed. They've messed about with our minds, and they're destroying, you know, our very minds, as we read before in Deuteronomy 28 and 48. He shall put yoke of iron upon thy neck. What's the last bit? Until thou has been destroyed, man. So our minds have been destroyed. Of, you know, who are we? Where are we from? How are we supposed to conduct ourselves? That's destroyed, man. Via the Christian church, they destroyed us through religion. They destroyed us through everything. You understand? And all we are, we're stuck in a place that we're stuck in a place that they have or they fabricated for us to keep us down, fabricated to destroy us, to keep us going around and doing wrongs. You know what I mean? Because there's no other way out. So if we don't see no other way out, we're obviously going to turn to crime, right? Because it's an easier option, and it's the only. Some of our people see that as the only option. It's not the only option, but that's what our people see it as, the easier way out. I don't want to go to the oppressors for nothing. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to find a way, right? And so that's just, it's all orchestrated. It's all designed for us to fail. This whole system structured around black people, our people, designed for us to fail, man. And the only way we can come out of that is these laws, statutes, and commandments is coming back to our God, man. That's the
That's right.
only way we can come out of that and reverse these curses. It's a punishment, and we need to reverse it, man, and not give the oppressors what they want. We need to give the Lord what He wants, so He can rid us out the hands of these oppressors, man. Yeah, it's like it.
That's right, man. It is by design. They engineered this cycle of violence and guns and drugs, and they engineered this cycle in our community. Man. It's working perfectly according to them. Ain't no investigation need to be done, man.
Right.
The only investigation they need to do is how they can, keep it under wraps, man. How they can keep getting away with it. What they
That's
can
right.
do to calm the public, calm the discourse, calm the protests. What they can do to just keep us go back to suffering in silence, man. What your videos for, man?
Right. Yeah.
We've been doing this for generations. You all know what it is. Just go back in the Christian church, clap and sing and dance. Everyone's equal, but we'll continue to destroy you. If you could get me Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. Because listen, we can't rely on Sadiq Khan. We can't rely on we couldn't rely on Boris Johnson, Theresa May. We couldn't rely on who was it? Liz Truss. Who's the prime minister now?
Are they looking for one? I think they're looking for one now, aren't they?
Sunak, something like that.
Was Boris Johnson? I think they're putting some Indian guy in there now or something.
Khan, certain Sunak.
Sunak, yeah, something Sunak. You're right.
We can't rely on none of them to fix our problems, man.
That's right. And 10 and 12 and 10, he said. Salaki.
12 and 10. We can't rely on Pretty Patel to have no mercy on our people. We can't rely on her to help our people. We can rely on her to deport our people to back to Jamaica.
Right.
That's what we can rely on her to do. We can rely on David Cameron to fund the building of prisons. We can rely on, in America, we can rely on Joe Biden to allow our people to, get more drugs. That's the only thing we can rely on our oppressors to do, man. But they will never do anything to fix our community. They will keep it destroyed. They'll keep it in that cycle. That cycle that keeps you destroyed. It keeps you from learning who you are. Keeps you from rising up and becoming righteous, man. Keeps you from changing your ways, learning your history, learning your heritage, your language, learning that you are the greatest nation over all these other nations, man.
That's right.
You are the best people on this earth according to the one true God, man. According to the Most High. And He chose you to keep His laws. If we learn that, maybe our people will get off drugs, man. But He can't allow that to happen. So we'll continue to put drugs in our neighbors, continue to have us strung out. He'll push this LGBTQ propaganda on us, so our people turn into sexual deviants and all sorts of wickedness runs rampant in our community. So we die from monkeypox and die from AIDS and die from all these wicked things. He'll continue to build abortion clinics so our women can kill their children. He'll continue to do all these things so our people remain destroyed. He can't have us rising up. If we rise up, then He has to come down.
That's right.
And He will, as much as He can avoid that happening, whatever might in His hand he has to stop that from happening, He will use that, man.
That's right.
He will use whatever method, he will do whatever He has to do to keep you killing each other, man. To keep you from learning the truth. To keep you from joining the ICPK and fixing your life and changing your ways, man.
That's right.
He will silence Kanye, silence Kyrie. He will silence anyone he can.
That's right.
He'll try to block our accounts and strike us and give us community guideline strikes. He'll do whatever he can to stop us from bringing out His word, from stopping the truth coming out.
Right.
But listen, man, you can't stop the Most High. You can't. When the Most High is with the people of Israel, is with Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you can't stop that from happening.
Right.
But our people, we need to get the Most High on our side, man. This is our problem to fix. We can't rely on Sadiq Khan. We can't rely on on Sunak. We can't rely on these people, man. These oppressors. We
Right.
got to do this ourselves. If you could read that for me, Baba Kishore.
Like yeah, I was gonna say as well about you mentioned what they do, man. They pull that anti-Semitism card. I was gonna say about the Kanye West situation. They try and pull those they block his account, they cut him off, they do all those things. Why? Because we our brothers speaking up, man. Our brothers speaking out and it's speaking the truth. You understand? That weird Jews, man. He's saying that we're the Jews, right? And they want to block him. And we've been teaching this in the ISUPK since 1969, you understand? He's heard it from the ISUPK, man. And now
Right.
he understands it. He's gone into the scriptures at some point. The Spirit of the Lord is tugging him, is drawing him, you understand? But like the Lord says in the scriptures, it says what? Many are called, few are chosen. The Lord is calling Kanye, man. The Most High Spirit is moving on him and he has to speak what he has to speak. You understand? So hopefully one day he will come in the truth, man. He will seek the ISUPK one day and get in all black, right? But the point is, yeah, as soon as he speaks the truth, these wicked people come to stop him from saying what he's saying. Why? Because many people are going to believe what we're saying in the UPK has been the truth, man. You understand? It's been the truth, man. All right. And then many people are going to wake up. Many more of our people are going to wake up and understanding. The heathens are also other nations outside of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Natives are going to understand as well, man. And be like, because as the scripture says, Salakia, as the scripture says, in the place where ye have said, where it was said, ye are not my people, there it shall be said, ye are the sons of the living God, man. And what's that place in the Americas where we're brought in slavery, man? We're known as blacks and monkeys and coons, and that's what the oppressors call us. But guess what? One day, all the nations are gonna know that we are the sons of God, because that's what they're gonna say according to the scriptures, man. That's a future prophecy, man. Salakia. Yeah.
No sweat, and that's right, man. If any of these politicians and these leaders wanted to do anything to fix the black community, then they will tell you your heritage, man.
That's
They will
right.
tell you your history.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew that we were the Jews, then listen, man, we'd know that in the past the Most High was with us, man. We were
That's
those
right.
people that were delivered out of Egypt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we serve the Most High and the Most High is with us, He will redeem us out of salvation, man. He'll redeem us out of this oppression.
That's right.
Then our people would realize, listen, whoa, wait. So the Most High was with our people. It's because we disobeyed Him why we're in this position now. If I serve Him again, He'll free me from this oppression.
Mm-hmm.
That would fix all the issues in the black community, man.
Right.
We'd see how people coming off drugs so they can serve the Most High. And the Most High can raise them out of this oppression, man. We'd see our sisters stop becoming whores. We'd see our brothers stop becoming gangsters and drug dealers. We'd see these things. We'd see these changes. But they don't want you to learn the truth, man. They'll shut that down. But they'll say, listen, I'm monitoring. I'm watching it happen. Don't worry. I'm watching. I'm researching. I'm watching them kill you. That's how they shush our people back to sleep, man. Make you feel as if they're doing something to help you. Make you feel as if they care, they have some sympathy, or they want to fix the problem. They just don't know. They just don't know what it is. What could be the problem, man? Listen, I'm researching it. I'm monitoring it. We're gonna figure it out, black people. Don't worry. Just go back to church, sing and dance. Don't stop protesting. We're gonna figure it out.
Right.
That's how
And
they
Salakia.
sleep, man. They made our people docile and just sheep ready for the slaughter, man.
Right. Right. I'm just gonna say as well, like, who did they say as well? They're gonna converse with, so they can fix the problem again. The youth, was it youth
teachers,
workers?
police,
Right.
the youth representatives, those.
Right. Those people, man, and it will never fix. It never has, never will fix our issue. Our issues need to be fixed by ourselves. And as you became, man, this is who the Lord is set up. Commanding General Yohana since 1969. This is who the Lord is set up to fix the black nation, the Israelite nation. blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And the only way it's gonna be fixed is our people returning and coming into the ISUPK, man. That's the only way it's gonna be fixed. You understand? And we've got to police our own nation, shall I say? You understand? These heathens cannot do it, man. And we got to cooperate. Our people need to wake up and cooperate with our people, man. If we're trying to fix our nation, you ain't supposed to come against men in the truth, man. You're supposed to cooperate with your brothers, cooperate with the leaders of our nation, so we can fix this issue. You understand? No one else ain't gonna fix it. Ain't no Egyptologist gonna fix it. Ain't no Pan-African gonna fix it. They've been here, they've had their time, they ain't fixed it, they ain't done nothing to fix it, they ain't making no movements. You understand? We going out on the highways and byways every week, man, every weekend, man. You understand? And teaching every day on classes, man. Anyway, Salakia, go ahead.
Right. And on that article, how Sadiq Khan is, you know, got an action plan involved with the head teachers and the police and the this and that. This action plan, if you read on in the article, the action plan was made in 2020. And 2 years, almost 3 years later, it's still the same problem, man. But he makes you feel like he's doing something. He makes you feel like it's gonna change soon. It's gonna change. It will not change until our people return back into the Most High, man.
That's right.
And that's what we're gonna bring out in this class, man. If you could read that for me.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemies.
The Bible don't say sometimes trust your enemy. The Bible don't say Sadiq Khan, he's made an action plan in 2020. He's going to solve the problem. The Bible didn't say read these articles and go back to sleep. The Bible said never trust your enemy. Don't ever trust these enemies, man. Don't ever trust these other nations. As much as they try to lull you back to sleep and make you feel like they're fixing anything, don't trust these people, man. Because they benefit from your oppression. They always have a hidden agenda. As much as they say they're helping you and they smile in your face, they are stabbing you in your back, man. They're putting the drugs in your hand, man. They're rising up there. They're erecting these abortion clinics in your neighborhoods, man. They're putting these corner stores and hair shops so they can take your money. Don't trust these enemies, man. Don't trust no Sadiq Khan action plan. Because 2 years, almost 3 years later, ain't nothing in action, man.
Looking into it, I don't. Looking into it.
He's still looking into it, man.
Right.
He's still researching why there's disproportionate. Listen, I figured it out. It didn't take me long. I'm a young man. I'm only 20 years old, man. It didn't take me no time to figure it out. Go ahead.
God. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
In the same way iron rusts, same way iron is sure to rust. There's no escaping it. Eventually, iron will rust. The same way as his wickedness, man. Right. The same way as David Cameron's wickedness when he's asked about reparations, he said, nah, but I'll build a prison.
Right.
The same way Priti Patel's wickedness shows when she deported our people back to Jamaica and brought in Afghanis, man.
Right.
The same way their wickedness is showed when Joe Biden says, listen, man, I'm gonna let the people, I'm gonna give them drugs. I'm gonna give them drugs. These drugs are clean drugs, you know. Don't use that the stuff that's been tampered with. Get this good stuff, the pure heroin.
Right.
Yeah, their wickedness is revealed, man. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Though he humbles himself and go crouching.
Though he humbles himself and he makes you feel like you're relating with him. He said, listen, man, I'm gonna what's his name? Sadiq Khan, I'm looking into the issue, man. I'm gonna research and investigate with the police. We got to figure out why black people are being disproportionately targeted, man. Why are they being over policed? He's humble with it, man. He smiles in your face, makes you feel like everything's okay. But it's 2 years later, he's done nothing, man.
Right.
Not a single thing has changed. Go ahead.
So, like, when did the George Floyd situation happen? Less than 2 years, wasn't it? Was it?
It
Can't
was
remember.
in the midst of COVID. Yeah, it's got to be like 2020, 2021. I believe it was like last year.
Right. And that happened even after. I thought he was looking into it. That shouldn't have happened if he was looking into it, you know. But that's in America anyway, isn't it? That's in America. So lucky, but
Oh, that was
still
2020.
2020. Okay. Well, was it 2 years? It's been 2 years, and then it two. Mm. All right. So verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
You take good heed. You watch this man. You watch David Cameron. You watch these politicians. You watch the police and you watch the excuses they make. You watch these judges. You see these trials and you watch how they excuse their behavior again and again and again. They don't hold themselves guilty. They will continue to kill you. They'll make excuses why they need to kill you, why they need to tase you, why they need to beat you, why they need to strip search your daughters. They need to do these things. They'll make all these excuses that they need to do these things to you. It's for your own good that they're killing you in these streets, man. When you watch him, you observe him, you observe what's happened over these 2 years, how nothing's changed. You'll see that he ain't really doing nothing, man. He's just putting you back to sleep. He's hushing the protests so he can eat, but he's puffing himself up, making himself look good as if he's doing something. Go ahead.
God, though just like you, and though he go crouching, humble himself, and take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
When you observe these politicians, you observe these people, you see the things they say, you see their mannerisms, you see their policies. When you're in the truth, you can observe these things. You can observe the subtle ways that every policy they make is meant to destroy you. Every tax they implement, every policy they make, every law, everything in this kingdom is to destroy Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. You see their rust ain't wiped away, man. When they give the people that murdered Dejon Reed, stabbed him in the heart, stabbed a young boy, a man in his 30s, and they say it, what did they say? It was manslaughter, or they say it was, they say he didn't mean to kill him, It was an accident. He tripped and fell, and the knife, just fell into our young brother's heart, man. They excuse their wickedness. But God forbid a young brother sells a eighth or sells I don't know what these youngsters call it, a Z or a Q. So something he's carted off or shot by the police. But when their crimes don't get punished, not even close to the severity they punish our crimes. And that's by design. Because these laws, these laws against the war on drugs was designed for, it wasn't designed for them. They can continue doing cocaine, and in Hollywood, all of that is rampant, and there ain't no war on drugs in Hollywood. But there's a war on drugs in the black community, in the slums, in the ghettos. That's where the war on drugs are, where you are. The war on gang violence is where you are, man. It ain't where the mafia is. It ain't where, ain't where there's the Sopranos. It ain't where the mafia is. It ain't where none of those people are. It's where you are, black man. Those abortion clinics, they ain't in Hollywood or the suburbs. They're in your neighborhoods, man. They're where you need to access it. Wherever there's black people, that's where they put up that, Planned Parenthood facility, health care facility. Because their people don't need it. There are people, there are people that are dying out. They need to give birth. But we're repopulating too quickly, man. They need that in our neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
When you observe these things, you see their wickedness ain't wiped away, man. They're still that same oppressor that had you on that slave ship, man. They're
That's
still
right.
the same oppressor that was whipping your back, killing your children, raping your men, your women, your children, raping damn near everything that he set his eyes on, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're still that same oppressor. Right? If you could get me Deuteronomy 28, verse 51, we'll read on from there.
God, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
And he eats the fruit of our cattle. Anything we work for, anything that we have, they get a piece. If we have a car, they're getting a piece in road tax, insurance. They're getting a piece in emissions. They charge you for that. You're getting a piece of that. If you have a job, they're getting a piece of the income tax, the national insurance. If you got a house, they're getting council tax. They're getting paid for the water. They get a piece of everything you own, man.
Right.
They eat your cattle. Go ahead.
And so, like, even if you're a drug dealer, man, they're still, they're still getting that money back because as you're running around risking your life and putting other people's life at danger and all those things, you know what I mean? Living a fast life, destroying your own black communities, etc. While we do those things, they benefiting from it, man. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
think they are keeping us in that position? Because they make the biggest money comes from them. As soon as we make a little change, we want the biggest, fattest, dearest change, biggest,
Mm-hmm.
fattest car, dearest car, etc. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
you got the upkeep on those things, man. Right? Then you might have 5, 6 cars, and then you get caught. He takes them all back. They're confiscated. All the money under the floorboards is confiscated. Wherever you
Right.
put the money under the mattress, the pillow, we can't put it in the bank, right? Wherever you put it, man, in the house gets confiscated. In the safe, you name it, getting confiscated, man, getting taken back. And then what they do is, as we know from back in the days, loads of stories that's been said, man, and so on. You understand? When in Mossad and Hume and our areas, right, where they
Mm-hmm.
capture the criminals and crooks and they take the money and split. The police officers we're talking about took the money and split up amongst themselves, man. Bought the big houses out of it, man, mansions out of it, etc. That's what they did back in the days, right? So what did we get from it? Nothing, man. We just put our lives at risk for no reason, you know.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that we don't understand. We're destroying ourselves, our families, our neighbors, our own brothers and sisters, our own people, and guess who's benefiting from it, man? The oppressors, same way, even more than we, man. You know.
That's right, man. When our people sell drugs and think, I'm just doing this to, I'm trying to get out of the hood, man, or I'm trying to make myself rich. You can't even store that money away. You have to spend that money.
Right.
Otherwise, the IRS, if you try to put it in a savings account, the IRS is like, yo, where'd you get that money from? They're coming for you that way. They know where you got it from because there's cameras everywhere. They're watching every move you make. They know
Right.
all the things you're into, but they allow you to continue to sell drugs because it destroys your people further. Because when you get the money, you buy fast, flashy cars and you buy the chains, you buy the J's, the shoes, you just throw it right back to them. And then when they catch you, they confiscate all the money anyway. They confiscate all the assets. They confiscate everything, man. And then they turn into a slave so they can continue to make more profit off you.
Right.
If our people knew that them being drug dealers, you're only making your enemy richer,
Right.
maybe they'll stop doing it, man.
That's right.
You're only playing into their hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's by design. They want you to do this. You think you're rebelling against the police and saying, F the police, I'm going to sell these drugs and kill my brother over a postcode. F the police. You're playing right into their hands, man. They're watch. Listen, man. What's his name? Sadiq Khan is monitoring all that and he's laughing, man.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
He's laughing at you think you're rebelling or doing something. Listen, you're playing right into their trap, right into their hands. This is all engineered. Keep this
Right.
cycle going.
Mm-hmm.
Our women saying, yeah, we're free, my body, my choice. I'm gonna kill my children. He's laughing at you, man.
Right.
Killing something that's so precious. He's laughing that you're so foolish that you think you're free in doing so. You're liberated. My body, my choice. I'm strong, empowered by killing your child, by killing a part of you.
Right.
Ain't no strength in that. Ain't no freedom in that, man.
That's right.
And he makes money off abortion, man. He sells the body parts of your child. When they tear apart your child in the womb, he will sell those parts, man, and make more money. You got paid to get that damn procedure, man. In America, you pay for the procedure. In the UK, I don't know if they give it you for free, but you're paying that anyway. You're paying that in national insurance. You're paying for the destruction of your people, and they're getting rich off your baby's body parts, man.
Right.
All these things are by design to keep you destroyed and keep them getting rich. They say, "Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich," man.
God.
When a woman walks into that abortion clinic, they say, "Blessed be the Lord," man. That's a bag. They hit a lick right there, man. That's a come up. But you think you're doing something. You think you're free by doing this. Our brothers think they're free and unruly by playing into our precious hand, man. By playing into that same trap they laid out since they figured out how to make drugs, man.
Right. Yes.
You went right. They had their fun for a while. Then it went, oh wait, we can destroy black people with this. Shipped off right into our communities, man. Carry on.
God, Slacky, 2051, right? Slacky, let me go from here. And the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the
They don't leave
flocks.
any corn, any wine. They don't leave nothing for our people. They take income tax, national insurance, road tax, insurance, emissions tax, what tax, just tax on living, bro. The cost of living, whatever they can tax you for, they will figure out ways to do it. They will take you and they leave you nothing, man. They leave our people living check to check. Much of our people think they've got a career and they've got a good job. You still find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, man. They leave you nothing in the suppression. Our people can't build like how these other nations build, man. Because our people don't have the mindset of building. We have the mindset of being selfish and separating. You know, our families don't get along, so we all separate and there's no building, there's no coming together, there's no nothing, man. So we get poorer and they get richer, man. Go ahead.
God, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down. Wherein
besieged in our gates, man.
Right.
Back in the day when the Romans came, when they came and persecuting our people that were in the land, we built walls and we trusted in them walls and thought they'd save us from the oppression. They besieged us in those walls, man. Those walls that we trusted in, they became a chain. They became a cage, man. That became our coffin. We trusted in them walls. They besieged us, man. They didn't let anyone enter or exit, and they starved us out, man. It's the same thing today. They put us in these walled communities, in these gated communities, in the slums, and we're besieged in those walls, man.
Right.
We're oppressed day in and day out. We can't pay the bills. The light's always going off. We can't build any wealth. We're besieged in those walls, man. It's by design. That's how the suppressor works. He's got it in a way now where you don't see how he's walled you in, how he's got you in the cycle. You don't see it anymore.
Right.
Go ahead.
To high fence walls, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy God has given thee.
Wherever we are, he finds us and he oppresses us, man. Wherever ghettos, whatever country we're in, we're oppressed, man. We're besieged. He'll find a way to drain us of our resources, to keep us destroyed, to keep us in this cycle. Wherever we are, wherever you can find us, we're oppressed.
Right.
We're getting pulled over by the police. Our daughters, they think they're safe in school. They're getting strip searched by these damn policemen, by these filthy, vile heathens, man.
Right.
Besiege you in wherever you are. You're at home, he'll kick down your damn door and shoot you in the face, man. Many of our brothers got killed in their own homes, man. In schools, you think you're safe within those school walls. Listen, they will stop and search you in those school. They'll strip search you. You're a victim of police brutality there. No matter where you go, you're still victim to this oppression. Our people think, the rich of our nation think they can make it out of the hood and, they're going to escape the things of their brothers and sisters go through. You're still getting racially profiled when you go to the bank. There was a black man that got arrested because he went into the bank and withdrew a large sum of money, and they called the police on that brother. You're still profiled. You're still besieged in these gates, man. You can't escape that oppression. You're still caught up into handcuffs because whoa, this a Negro drawing this amount of money. That's they shouldn't have this. What's gone wrong with the plan where this Negro has this much money? Nah, something ain't right. You gotta rub that. He's gotta be committing fraud or something ain't right. Get the police on this, bro.
Right. Let's investigate.
This situation right here shouldn't happen. This ain't the design. Something's gone wrong. Get the police involved because something's gone wrong. We gotta fix it. This brother he clearly ain't oppressed enough. He's earning too much. We gotta repress him. We gotta bring him to the police so we can spend however much on legal fees. Our people, the lawyers, we gotta get some of that money. We can't just let him have this much money. Listen, man, you can't escape this oppression. Ian Wright, he's a footballer, he's a commentator. He can't escape those being called a monkey. He can't escape those names, man. Rashford and Sterling, they're playing for England in the World Cup, man. You're in such a prestigious position. You think, you should be getting honor, man. But you miss a free kick or you miss a penalty. Yo. You feel that oppression right there, man.
Right.
You're living too good. This ain't meant to happen. So you get your oppression one way or another, man. It finds you wherever you are. It finds you. It will always find you as long as his oppressor's in power. Go ahead.
And let me say this as well, man. What we're reading about right here in this Bible is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' lives, man. You understand? We was in the land of Israel, and we had high walls, man. We, we trusted in those walls that our forefathers trust that them walls was going to protect them from the Roman army, man. Protect them from Rome coming against us in 70 AD, man. And guess what? They starved us out, like Officer Alban just said, man. Until he was broken down, we had nothing left, man. And
Right.
those of us that escaped ran into Africa, and from Africa, the Africans sold us to the white man, conspired and sold us, and here we are on slave ships. And we brought over here on slave ships, man, and here we are today. We're the descendants of those slaves, man, which are the biblical Israelites. the biblical Jews in this Bible, man. You understand? That's who we are. And they won't tell us who we are, man. And they continue and design to destroy us, man. Set up their empires over us to rule over us and keep us down and keep us in servitude under them. But the Lord wants us back, man. All right, so like, yeah, that's
Awesome.
it. Read on.
Come on.
Go on, all right. And thy walls that thou trusted in, walls that our fence walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, through all thy land which the Lord thy God has given thee. Verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters.
So now, when in this oppression, we eat the fruit. We eat the fruit of our own body, man. We eat the flesh of our sons and our daughters. And in that day, we literally ate our children because they stopped any food from getting in and out, and we were starving, man. They starved
Right.
us out, and we literally turned to eat our sons and our daughters. We ate our children. And in this day and age, in this siege that this oppressor has us in, we eat our sons and our daughters by we oppress when we're coming home from work after a stressful day. Some of our people abuse their children. They allow them to get involved in gangs and drugs so they can, bring some of that drug money home. They allow while they prostitute their own daughters, man, their own flesh and blood, so they can, get a bit of money in. We abuse our own children, man, and lead them down this path just for financial gain, or maybe if my son makes it, we can get out of the hood. Listen, man, in that same siege, we turn and we oppress our sons and our daughters. We don't lead them to the right path. We don't treat them, we don't correct them the way we should.
Right.
And we don't grow them up in the way they should, man. We don't grow them up in the laws. We're too busy trying to get some money, trying to get rich. Some of our brothers leave their children. They just need more free time to go sell drugs and try to get rich. Some of our sisters prostitute their daughters or allow wicked things to happen unto them and just brush it under the rug.
Right.
Don't dress none of the trauma. Don't dress none of these things. They leave their man and they get a new man, and that new man abuses their daughter. And they don't say nothing. All these wicked things that happen to our children, man, because of the decisions that we make as a nation. Because we're so destroyed, we just allow these things. These things have become normal, man. Go ahead.
Okay, there's that.
Verse 53.
God, yeah, God. Verse 50. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, and the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy God has given thee in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee.
And in that strictness, in that straightness, that harsh oppression, man, we turn against our own children. In that our sisters, in that harsh oppression, they can't make ends meet. They think a child is gonna be just an additional financial burden, so they go ahead and get rid of that child, man. In that straightness, in that strictness, in that harsh oppression, we kill each other. We rob from each other. We kill each other, trying to come up, man. Trying to hit a lick, trying to do something, trying to find some way out of this oppression to get some money, man. These bills gotta be paid. But listen, man, this oppressor will never let you out of this oppression. He will keep you in the straightness, and you will continue to abuse your own children, man. Our sisters will continue to kill their children so they can go back to that job and continue working for that oppressor and paying income tax, man. We'll continue to allow our sons get involved in drugs and guns so they can, buy us nice things and, A lot of our sisters are raising their children to be drug dealers and get involved in this life, prostituting their daughters just so they can, get some money in, contribute to the rent, man. You should raise up your children to make an honest living.
Right.
Use that money to build together.
That's right. And Sadaki, man, let me
Go
finish.
ahead.
Mm. That's a perfect example of what you're saying there, because I was watching I've seen it before, but I was watching, I think you had it on TikTok or something, but I was watching that dancehall queen, man, where, you know what I'm saying, the daughter, the mother made the daughter sleep with the guy. So
Mm,
this guy's, sleeping with the mother, but then he wants
hmm
the daughter now. And made her sleep with her, she's only 15, man. And he made her sleep with the guy for, for money, basically, to pay the rent, buy Kentucky Fried Chicken, and, you know, uh, look, yo, I was just watching it again. I've seen it before, but yo, seeing it now in a brand new eye, man, yo, it's disheartening, man. It's more than sad, more than sad. And
hmm
the daughter comes home and the daughter say, I hate you. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be my mother and you've subject me to that. You know what I'm saying? Larry, the guy's calling
hmm
the showman, right? But it's just, man, yo, I don't know what to say. Friggin', all I know is I know in my mind how many of our people are going through this in those islands, man. Especially
That's right.
everywhere in the world, but especially in
hmm
the islands, you know. And we need, this is like, we need law and order in our place. We need law and order in our communities, man. We need the laws of the Lord more than
hmm
ever before, man. And that's what I saw, that I seen it before, but and it rubbed me up the wrong way then, but now even more so, because I'm looking and thinking, yo, this is wrong on every single level, man. Every single level. And to the point where now it seems to be normal, and it can't
hmm
be normal. You know what I mean? It's like,
That's right, man. That's a trauma that many of our sisters have, man. Going
mm,
through that just to get a little piece of money, and then our sisters become whores to just deal with the trauma. They say, okay, this was taken from me, so I've got to take it back, and that's the way in their mind they claim it back. That's also by
mm,
design. This oppressor puts that sort of stuff in the media to make you feel like, if you do this, you're sexually liberated, you'll be free, you'll take control of your body. Listen, man, that ain't taking control. That's just you're giving away your power, you're giving away your control even more, man.
right. Mm,
All these things are by design, these wicked things that happen to our people because of this straightness, because of this oppression that we're in, man. These are the
right.
things that we do to try and do something to get out of it. But there's only one way we can get out of this, man. We got to serve the Most High, man.
That's right.
We got to make supplication unto Him and say, Salakia, man. We have sinned. We have done
Mm,
wickedness unto you, man. And serve Him, man. We got to keep these law, statutes, commandments. We
right.
got to keep the ISUPK, learn the truth, put on your old black, do your 6 months. You come into the
Mm,
school, man. You join this truth. You join this family. You join this community. This strong community that's governed by a strong leader, man. That's governed by a
mm,
commanding Jenny Hannah, a righteous brother.
that's
There's a
right.
spirit of the Most High to govern His people. That's how we
Mm,
fix the black community. And if any of the police touch our brothers, touch our sisters, listen, man, they will feel the wrath of the Most High when they try and touch one of us. We will fight
right.
them every method we can do, man. A lot of our people are going through this oppression and go suffering these things day in and day out, and they don't even know, you know, they see others get justice and they say, how did they even do that, man? A lot of our people don't know the ways we can get justice for the wickedness that's done unto us, the ways we can operate, the things we can do to get justice.
Right.
But we know in ICBK, man, and we will get justice if you try and touch any of our brothers and sisters. You will feel the wrath of the Most High will be on our side, man,
Right.
and you will feel that. You won't dare come against one of us again.
Mm,
Because you can
Khan.
listen. Our people are sinning. That's their punishment. When you're sinned, you get punished by the oppressor. That's the punishment that the Most High put in place for you. Because you sinned against the Most High, He delivered you into the hand of your enemies. But when you
That's
come
right.
back and serve Him, and then He continues to try and touch you, listen,
Mm-hmm.
the Most
What?
High will, why all hell will break loose.
That's
They
right.
will get their judgment for that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want justice, if you want peace, you find ICBK, man. You find the school,
Good.
394 Lodge Road, B18 5PW. You find the school, and you will get justice, man. Go ahead.
So like I think you covered what I was gonna say there, man. You know what I mean? You want justice, and the Lord ain't playing, man. The
That's
Lord,
right.
like, the Lord is long suffering. So even though sometimes a judgment might not come swiftly, you understand, but the Lord ain't bypassing that judgment, man. He touched one of us, if it's not today, the Lord don't get you today, He's gonna get you tomorrow, man. That's as
Yeah.
simple as that. And just like how the Lord destroyed the Egyptians, the Lord destroyed the firstborn of every single Egyptian in ancient Egypt, man. Killed the firstborn, including Pharaoh's own son that was going to be next in line to sit up on the throne. The Lord put him to death. You understand? The Lord also put all the animals, all the beasts of the firstborn of the beast to death. You understand? Just like that, the Lord will destroy our enemies for us, man. They touch one of us, the Lord will destroy them, man. The Lord will give, as the Bible said, the Lord will give life for our life. You understand?
That's
Understand that,
right.
man.
And if you could, we'll get a verse on that. If you could get me, hold where you're at and get me Psalm chapter 16, verse 11, Bobby Sure.
60 and 11, right? Yeah.
Come on.
60 and 11. Can't. 60. Psalms chapter 60, verse 11. Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man.
So David making a prayer to give us help, praying to the Most High to give us help from our trouble, man. Give us help from this oppression. Give us help from this harsh oppression, man. This
Right.
besiege they have us in our gates. Give us help from this. Go ahead.
God, through God,
Slack. Did you,
Slack, yeah,
uh,
verse 12.
wait, did they finish the end of that verse? Verse 11.
Yeah, Khan, yeah.
Slack, you can read the last part of that verse again, Dr. Sure.
Khan, all right. I'll read the verse again. Verse 11. Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man.
For vain is the help of man. The help of man has no profit. The help of man is no, there ain't no solution. From 2020, ain't nothing changed, man. The help
Right.
of Sadiq Khan is vain. The help of David Cameron and Boris Johnson and Joe Biden is vain, man.
That's right.
There is no solution in that for our people. This is a curse from the Most. Even if they wanted to, they can't override the Most High.
Mm,
This is a punishment that we have earned. We've earned this punishment, but we can earn our salvation, man. We can
right.
earn our freedom. We can earn help from the Most High God, man.
Mm-hmm.
No man can save us, and no man will save us. They're all in cahoots. They're all confederate against God's chosen people. They made an
Right.
agreement. They made a tumult. They're all in agreement that they need to oppress Black, Hispanics, Native Indians and keep us on the bottom so they can thrive. So their help, anything they do to try and make you feel like they're helping, is all vain. It's all in vanity. Only the Most High can help us, man. We don't
That's right.
pray to Sadiq Khan. Oh, help us. We don't beg the government to help us, man.
Mm.
We ask the Most High God. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 12. Through God we shall do valiantly, for
Through the
he,
through the Most High will do valiantly. Through the Most High will be triumphant. Through the Most High will receive justice.
right.
And will receive peace. Through the Most High will rise up as a nation and be strong again, man.
That's right.
Through the Most High, will stop selling drugs to each other. Our sisters will stop being whores and aborting their babies. We'll stop killing each other over postcodes, man. We'll stop prostituting our daughters and allowing our sons to be drug dealers and gangbangers. We'll stop doing all the wicked and vile things that we do towards each other on a day-to-day, man.
Right.
We'll do valiantly instead. These are the nations will look upon us and say, what wise and a great nation, man. Surely the Most High is with them. That's what we'll be through the Most High. Go ahead.
God, through God, we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies.
And it is the Most High that will tread down our enemies, man. It's the
That's right.
Most High that will put the knee on our oppressor's neck, man. Police brutality. Listen, they ain't ready for the Most High's brutality, man. It's the Most High that will tread down all our enemies that have oppressed us. Tread down Sadiq Khan, Priti Patel, and Rishi Sunak. We'll tread all of them down, man, for the wickedness they've done against our people. Go ahead. Oh, was that it on that?
That was it, Khan.
Right,
Back
we'll
to 28, yep. Khan, 54?
50. Yeah,
Khan, I'm up. Yeah. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
And in that siege, in our oppression, they turned our brothers' eyes against each other. We used to be strong. We used to be united as a people. Even after slavery, you know, we got our little community. We used to be strong. We used to have care for each other. But then this oppressor put drugs and guns in our neighborhoods, and then our brothers' eyes turned evil towards each other, man.
Right.
And what Officer Tazarpan brought out last week with the Willie Lynch, it was heavy, man. They use all these various methods to turn the old against the young, the male against the female, the light skin against the dark skin. Every single way they could use to divide us. And now our brothers' eyes are evil towards their own brothers, man.
Right.
Now we will kill a brother over looking at us funny, man, or over living in a different area, or over wearing different colors, man. How we used to deal delicately with one each other, man. We used to love each other. We used to have brotherhood towards each other, man. And Tazarpan can attest to this in Jamaica. You know, you used to be able to leave your door open and no one's gonna teeth you, no one's gonna rub you or try to cause harm to you. But you can't do that in this day and age, man.
Right.
You can't do those things. You will get your whole house rinsed. You might even lose your life if you're there. Because they got listen, man. We're in such poverty and such harsh oppression. The siege is so straight and harsh that we'll do anything to survive. It's like crab in a bucket mentality, crab in a barrel. You just climbing to get out, and you climb and claw your own brothers just to try and find a way out. And if it's oppressor, if you see a brother, if he sees one of the crabs getting close to the top and escapes, he'll pick you up and put you right back in that barrel, man.
Right.
Yeah, West thought he was rich and thought he escaped that pressure. Nah. He picked you up and threw you right back in that bucket, man. You got pressed like everyone else, man. You get taken down and money gets taken, fined. You get pressed like all your other brothers and sisters, man. Don't ever forget that you're a crab in that bucket, man. Don't ever forget that you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
Khan, brothers, and towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And toward the wife of his bosom, man. Our brothers' eyes are turned evil against their wives, man. Not really Lynch. They turned the men against the women. They made the women strong and the men weak. Our brothers are leaving their sisters, using them, just whoring them out and leaving them. where our brothers are just leaving the children, just have no regard, abusing our women. Because in this oppression, you just stressed out, you just gotta release, you just gotta do something. You're so stressed and so oppressed, you just have to do something. Something has to happen. You lash out, and you lash out against your wife, you lash out against your children, you leave them, or you abuse your children. All these wicked things that we do towards each other because we're so oppressed, man. It's by design. Don't ever forget the cause of all this oppression, man.
That's right.
It's caused because we sinned against the Most High. The Most High delivered us into our enemies, man. It's our enemies that's designed us to continue. It's designed this cycle.
Right.
And to break the cycle, we've got to turn back to the Most High, man. In order to love your wife and love your children, you got to turn back to the Most High and learn how to love your wife, how to love your children, how to
That's
raise
right.
them to be strong. You got to learn how to stop your daughter from becoming a whore, how to stop your son from becoming a drug dealer and a gangbanger, man. The only way you can rise out of this oppression, rise out of this condition, is by serving the Most High, man. It's the
That's right.
only solution for Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. The Black Panther movement couldn't do it. The civil rights couldn't do it. None of these, the Malcolm X couldn't do it. Listen, no other method can work, man.
Right.
As we read in
That's right.
Psalms, the help of man is vain.
Yeah.
Through God will do valiantly. Through God will get out of this oppression. The Most High will tread on our enemies, man. Tread on those who try to oppress us. You can't do it without the laws, man. You can't do it without this book. Without this book right here.
That's right.
We can't do it without the guidance of Commanding General Hanneman. We can't do it without the ISUPK who teach these laws, teach brothers and sisters this Bible,
That's
teach
right.
this law, teach you how to solve the problems in your community, how to love your family, how to treat your parents, your children, how to treat your brothers and sisters, how to solve issues. You can't do it without this book right here, man. Without
That's right.
the strong men in the ISUPK to
Right.
lead this nation. Go ahead.
That's right. 55, verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of his flesh, of the children whom he shall eat, because he has nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
That's right, man. And it used to be a tradition in Israel where you would leave your children in an inheritance. But
Right.
in this oppression, we have no inheritance to give. The only thing we leave when we die is debt, man. Our children
Right.
got to pay for the funeral costs. We can't even give nothing. We can't give no inheritance, no nothing. You only give liability, man. You only give debt. We got to come up with the funeral funds. It's been like that for generations and generations. We've had nothing to give to our children, man. Go ahead.
So like yeah, that one's hard, you know. Yeah, man. We got nothing to pass down to our children. Nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the straightness. We're in hell, man. This is hell. We don't need no Christian church, Salakia, man. We don't need no Christian church to tell us about when we die, there's a guy under the ground in some fire with some pitchforks. We're living in hell right now. And anything we do to try and rise up, these oppressors' horns grow out the side of the head. You understand? And they raise up the pitchforks, man. That's where we're at right now. This is hell, and these Caucasians, these Edomites, you understand, these are the devils that the Bible speaks of. They're the ones keeping us down. They got us pitchforks. When we rise up, we can't have nothing because of these oppressors, man. That's where we're at.
That's right.
That's where we're at. We've got nothing to pass to our children down the line. Nothing. Why? Because we're the last hired and first fired, man. We're the ones living from hand to mouth. What we're going to pass to our children, man. But what Officer Rahaban just said, man, debt, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to pass to our children, man. This is through the design of the oppressors oppressing us and holding us in the straightness, man. This Bible ain't no fairy tale, man. We're reading our situation before our very face. We're the children of God, man. We're the ones suffering this. Salaki, man. Salaki, go ahead.
That's right, man. And you know, these oppressors, we always wonder how they always seem to have an inheritance. Not only do they have generational wealth, but they'll all have life insurance policies. Our people don't know nothing about no life insurance. You're telling me I gotta pay a monthly for just in case the scenario happens. Listen, man, I can't even pay the bills I got, man. I can't afford no life
Right.
insurance. But they all get that, and that's how their generational wealth works, man. But we not only do we not have the education about no life insurance, they probably will find an excuse not to pay us. They'll listen.
It can, right. That's
Can't
it.
afford
That's
it.
it. Salaki.
We've already got bills away in arrears.
Yep.
You can't life insurance. Listen, once I'm done, that's not my problem no more, man. Because of this oppression, you can't even worry about your children. You can't worry about what debt they might have, paying for the funeral costs, how they got scraped together because they're already struggling. You can't even worry about it. You can only worry about yourself. When you die, it's over.
Mm.
That's the oppression. That's the cycle they have us in, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Leon.
Can. Right. Oh yeah. No. Yeah, man. We're the living proof. This Bible is real, man. The
That's right.
living proof. We're reading about our own life right before our face in these scriptures, man. All right. Where we
Jewish
at?
man don't fit none of these. Jewish man don't fit not a single one of these prophecies, man. Not a single one of
That's
these curses. They got
mm,
generational wealth. They have an inheritance to pass down to their children, man. Their children are rich. They got all these life insurance policies. They got all types of. They own all the industries. Listen, man, this don't fit them. This fits you,
mhm.
Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. This fits
That's
you
right.
on the reservations, man. This fits you in the slums of America, Britain, the West Indies, Cuba, Brazil, Argentina, all those places, man. This fits you.
Mm.
You have no inheritance to give to your children. Go ahead.
Khan, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her
Mhm.
eye, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom.
And that woman that used to be so tender and delicate and feminine and submissive and just beautiful. Our
Mm,
women used to be so precious and so dainty, so feminine and ladylike. That woman now is beating you over the head, man. Physically abusing you, verbally abusing you, using your children against you, getting that child support. Their eyes are evil towards their husbands, man. Evil
mhm.
towards that man. They'll destroy their own household because a brother got another wife. Listen, man, their eyes are evil towards you, man.
Right.
Because of the straightness they're in, because of the siege they're in, because of the oppression of this oppressor, man. If we were wealthy and living good and we were able to take care of each other,
Mhm.
anyone would sweat over getting another wife.
Right.
You
That's
know,
right.
sweat.
Yeah. Love.
Getting taken care of, you're treated well, you're treated nice.
Mhm.
The same way this Arab man's woman don't care if he's got 5, 6 wives. They're getting treated nice, man. No, you know, until they
Well, I'm
speak.
not sure about them, so like, yeah,
Until they
yeah.
speak out loud,
Yeah.
then they
I was
gotta
like
get
on a
in.
pause. I was pausing for a bit there,
Until they start trying to
Yeah,
drive. Ooh, no.
yeah, yeah, like, yeah.
So I mean,
But
a
what
comedian
we,
made a joke. It's like,
mm.
you know, let's say stupid things like women can't drive. Women are bad drivers.
Mhm.
Over in the Middle East, no, women really can't drive. Like
Right,
it ain't a
not
joke.
allowed. Yeah.
You trying to
Uh,
drive? Yo, get the stones.
mm,
They
mm,
don't treat their women nice, but because they're
mm.
wealthy, they're okay with their man having multiple wives.
Right,
Because we're
right.
in oppression, we're taught, a man has to have more than one wife. We're taught the ideologies of the white man, of the oppressor. Women are
Mm,
taught these things. oh, it's unchristian to have it. Listen, man.
Right.
Listen. It is in the Bible, man. Many of these brothers had more than one wife.
That's right. And so like going back to the the Arabs and all that, like we ain't what I'm saying, we got orders on how to love our wives and how to treat our wives. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna beat them over the head like what they do, you know what I'm saying, and so on
That's right.
and so forth. You get me? So yeah. Mm,
They will abuse. They will hit their wives, man. We commanded not to. We can't we
right,
can't can't hit our women. We can't abuse our women, man.
right. Yeah,
In the ICPK, we treat our sisters very well, man. You get the love and
that's right.
affection that you crave, man. You deserve. You deserve that. If you're serving the Most High, you deserve a good husband. And you'll find that in
That's
the
right.
ICPK.
Mm,
And listen, man, many of our sisters, they need a good husband, man. There's few.
that's
There's few of us. You gotta share, man. Salakia. There's
that's
few
right.
of us.
Mm,
But you won't be treated bad like these Arab women are treated bad. You won't be abused. Ain't no
mm,
barefoot and pregnant. Listen, man, you're treated well, man.
uh,
But you don't see that. You're just seeing jealousy. You're just seeing the ideologies of the white man. You see, listen, man. But go ahead.
go on. Yeah, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom,
Hmm.
and and towards her son and daughters, and towards her son and towards her daughter. Verse 57.
And the
And
eyes, her
towards,
eyes, this woman, this that used to be delicate and feminine, love her children and nurturing.
hmm
Your eyes are now evil towards your sons and your daughters. You'll prostitute your daughters. You'll allow your sons to be drug dealers and gangbangers. If the you won't even birth your children, you'll kill them before they even make it out. Your eyes are evil towards your sons and your daughters because of the seed, because of the oppression, because the white man feeds into your ears that it's clump of cells. He feeds into your ears that listen, you can't be burdened by a child. You got a job, man. You got a career. You got to work day in and day out. So you can live paycheck to paycheck. You got to afford to raise a child, to raise the next generation. You go ahead and get rid of that child, man. Because of the
and
oppression, the straightness, the ideologies they feed us, the condition they keep us in, we destroy ourselves, man.
right.
Go ahead. You're gonna say something.
And Khan, yeah, just basically on the back of what you just said about, go ahead and get rid of that child. You can, think about your career for now. You can have a next one. When you reach where you need to reach in your career, then you can have a child, etc. You know what I mean? And many of our sisters, think like that, taking on their mindset, and later on they can't even have a child, man,
That's
or
right.
whatever the case is, right? You know what I mean?
Listen, sisters, you will never get where you want to be in your career, man. You'll never get that promotion. He ain't giving it to you. Just have a
Right.
child and raise the next generation, man. Do what you were made to do, your biological purpose, man. Raise these
Right.
children, nurture them, raise them up in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And watch them be strong and listen, man, you have hopes and dreams. You raise your children. If you can't accomplish them, you raise your children to be strong so they can accomplish them for you, man.
Right.
They can have a good life.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, they don't talk about, the trauma that our sisters go through after they've had an abortion.
That's what I
They don't
mean.
talk about the physical health impacts it has, how your body doesn't know what to do with itself. You might get breast cancer because you're lactating, you don't have a child to feed, body's confused, you get trauma because you've ended a life of your child. So you gotta console that in your mind somehow. It comes
Right.
back in waves and waves. A lot of sisters are talking
Mm-hmm.
about trauma. It comes back in waves. They get waves of depression about how they killed
Mm-hmm.
their child, but then they continue to do it because they just fed. It's just a clump of cells. It's fine. You shouldn't be upset. You had to do it because
Mm-hmm.
you had to live. You got to pay them bills, man. You have to kill your child. They don't talk about the trauma. They don't talk about the health impacts, the,
Mm-hmm.
the the spiritual damage it's done, the physical damage it's done. It's listen, man. You think it's just a procedure and it's over. Even the procedure, how invasive and traumatic that is, man. You hear the sound of
Right.
that vacuum turn on. If you actually watch an abortion happen, watched and listen to the sounds. Watched I seen a video where they showed like a representation of how they tear that child apart, man. That vacuum turns out it is a violent and invasive procedure, man. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let the serpent beguile you into thinking you're doing this because you're free. You're doing this because you can't afford a child and you need to get that job, man. Listen, that is a part of you. That child is a part of you and your husband, man.
Right, that's right.
You raise that child, man. You do it not only for the child, you do that for yourself, man.
Right.
You don't have to suffer the trauma that you killed a child. You don't have to suffer having breast cancer because your body's confused.
Right.
You
And
don't
so
suffer
like
you get from disobeying the laws of the Most High, man.
Right. And so like yeah, the Lord is not pleased when we do stuff like that. See, all that trauma and all that, that's the Lord's punishment on our people, because you can't just think you can just do those things and get away with it. That's the punishment of the Lord, man. The Lord is displeased with those things, and that's to show us that the Lord is displeased, man. You understand? So if there's any sisters that's done that before, you repent, man. Repentance means drastic change, man. And you fix your mind where you will never do that ever again, man. You understand? We know that the serpent is is the most cunning beast of the field, man. You understand? The Caucasians are the most cunning beast of the field. They're the most cunning amongst all the nations on the planet. We know that, man. And so you come out of the world and come out of the mindset of what is fed us, what is fed our people, and you come into the truth, and the Lord will forgive you of your sins. You repent, man, and you change that mindset, and you'll never do that again, man. But the Lord ain't playing. That's how we know the Lord ain't playing. All that trauma he was suffering after effects, etc. Just like if someone you murder your brother, now you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't think straight. Why? Because the Lord is plaguing us, man. The Lord is plaguing you, man. Don't think you just do wickedness and get away with it. Why do you think they need Salakia not to take it away? But why do you think you need to be drugged up before you do a murder, or you need to be drugged up before you do, or drugged up after it too, man? I think they smoke so much weed and take so much crack and take so much rubbish just to get over what they've done. That's the punishment of the Lord on the minds of the people, man. And they don't even understand that. The Lord don't play, man. Read on, Salakia.
Come on, that's was that it? Was that up to 57?
I've not read 57 yet. I'm at 57 now. I'm to read it.
57. I'm gonna close out on this scripture. I have to do a part 2 if that's to work next week.
Yeah, that's to up. Yeah, most on Christ. Yeah, man.
Right, we'll finish up on this on 57.
Verse 57. And towards her young one, and towards her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children, which she shall bear.
And towards that young one that's supposed to come out from between her feet, she fixes that before you say it becomes a problem, man. Fixes that. Listen, man. Because of the straightness, because of the wicked lies that this oppressor has fed us, because of they don't allow us to they don't allow us to breathe, man. They will take all type of bills and taxes. They take. A lot of people are just left with absolutely nothing, with less than nothing. So they've got to come with something to make something. Sacrifice you sacrifice your sanity, you sacrifice your children. Our people will sacrifice, some of our brothers will sell drugs to their own family. You'll sacrifice your family members.
Right, imagine.
Just to try and get something, to do something. Because of this oppression that your enemy has you in, man.
That's right.
Sadiq Khan can't save you. Can't save you from that. We have to save ourselves. We have to rise up, people. Commanding General Yohanan is a brother that's risen up to govern Israel, man. A
That's
righteous,
right.
kind brother to govern Israel in righteousness with the laws of the Most High God, man. That's how we fix the black community. That's how we fix our issues, man. That's how we stop over policing.
Right.
So they can't even go investigate nothing. We've investigated it already. We have the solution. It's right here. It's right here in this book, man. Right here.
That's right, man.
This
That's
is a
right.
solution to black and black crime. This is a solution to abortion, man. This is a solution to police over policing disproportionately black neighborhoods, man. If we become so righteous, they can't touch us, man. That's how we stop them over policing us. That we don't fit their profile, man. We don't fit that no more. You can't come up with that ain't no excuse you can use. And if you try, the Most High will tread on you, man. The Most High will get revenge. Because if you touch one of these little ones, it'd be better that a millstone is hanged around your neck and you drown in the sea, man. That's how we get justice. And we get our peace and we fix the problems in the black community. Was that it on that?
So let us, I've got some more. And for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the
Go ahead.
Secretly in the siege, and straightness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates.
And that's what we talked about before, man. Where our sisters, because they're in that strict oppression, sometimes they will prostitute their daughters, man, to get some money, man. Sometimes they will allow their sons to become drug dealers so they can, get some nice gifts or something. Just get something. Maybe they can use that drug money to pay the rent. Because we're in this oppression, the straight oppression, our sisters are abusing their children, and they used to be tender and delicate. And even if you're struggling, you raise that child in the right way, man. You don't allow him to become a drug dealer and destroy his life.
Right.
You don't give up your daughter. You don't give up your daughter's purity and innocence to get some money, man. You preserve your daughter. You raise her up to be a righteous and a precious sister, man.
Right.
You give her innocence unto her husband, man. Make sure he's a strong man that will deal with her wisely. Will take care of her. That's how you raise your children, man. And you learn how to do so in the ICPK. Right. You find the school. Whatever zone you're in, you find the school in your zone. You start attending classes. You come to the school. You learn how to fix your community, man. If you're sick of this over policing, you come to the ICPK. You learn how to stop them police from knocking down your doors and killing your children, man. From strip searching your daughters, man. You learn how to get justice. You get peace from this word, man. And with that, that's the class. I'm gonna hand it over to Precinct Officer 500 to Sapo. I'm gonna do gonna close out with the salute. Sure.
Salute. Cool. All right. And with that, Amajim. Majim Shabbat. Majim. Rak. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yad Yamata. Dismiss.
Oh, sorry, Christ.
Right. Done. Shalom. Most thankful.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Shalom, Israel.